The John Wick franchise has become a juggernaut of modern action cinema, carving out its own unique niche with awesome fight choreography, stylish visuals, and an increasingly expansive mythology. But as the series has grown, there's been talk about which film truly stands out as being the best in the franchise. Many say that the emotional depth of John Wick 1 that gave birth to these movies is the best one, while others argue that the spectacle and sheer ambition of John Wick 4 represent the series at its peak. Both films offer a unique and compelling style, yet they're also strikingly different in what they prioritize, how they choose to tell their stories, and what story they want to tell. From the opening moments of John Wick 1, it's clear that this isn't just another action movie. The story is tightly wound around a raw, personal tragedy that pulls you in immediately. We watch John quietly grieve over his late wife and get emotionally drawn into the movie when he receives a puppy from her a few days after she passes. It's a powerful moment that creates an emotional anchor that grounds all the chaos to come, driven by the perfect motivation. If you watch the movie, the first 5 minutes give a lesson in how to show, not tell a story. In fact, no words are even spoken. It's brilliant. And when his dog is cruelly taken from him, it's not just a plot point, it's the final straw for a man barely holding himself together. What makes it all more gripping is that we don't even know who this guy is. We know nothing about his past. We're given the ideal motivation as the movie slowly lets us know who this man is. This makes every punch, every gunshot, every calculated step he takes feel deeply personal, driven by a loss we can all understand and relate to. Then there's John Wick 4, which trades the intimate focus of the first film for epic scope and relentless action. By this point in the franchise, the world of assassins, high tables, and unbreakable rules has become a sprawling labyrinth of lore, and the film wastes no time diving headfirst into its complexities. Where John Wick 1 was compact and focused, John Wick 4 is grand and operatic, with dazzling action set pieces that push the boundaries of what you think an action movie can deliver. Yet, despite its ambition, the emotional stakes don't feel quite as immediate or personal. The movie delivers a grand visual spectacle, but while it dazzles with its scale, it doesn't deliver the depth and richness of its story as the first John Wick did. The two films also differ dramatically in pacing. John Wick 1 balances its explosive action with quieter moments of reflection. It lets you sit with John's grief and understand his motivations before unleashing his fury in tightly controlled bursts of violence. The fights are as much about storytelling as they are about choreography, and each one reveals a little more about the man behind the guns. John Wick 4, on the other hand, feels like an endurance test. The action is undeniably impressive, but some sequences go on so long that they begin to feel overwhelming, losing their emotional impact. It's as though the film is more concerned with dazzling you than with drawing you in. But where John Wick 4 undeniably shines is in its commitment to scale. The film delivers some of the most visually stunning action scenes in the entire franchise, from the neon-lit streets of Osaka to the brutal, endless stairway fight in Paris. The choreography is a marvel, and Keanu Reeves continues to impress with his dedication to the physical demands of the role. Yet, for all its technical brilliance, the film sometimes feels like it's missing a soul. The personal connection that made the original so powerful has been replaced with an ever-expanding world that, while fascinating, can feel emotionally distant. Then there's the question of characters and what they individually bring to the movie. In John Wick 1, the supporting cast is minimal but memorable. Willem Dafoe's Marcus, Ian McShane's Winston, and Lance Reddick's Charon all add layers to the story without overshadowing its central focus. In John Wick 4, the cast grows significantly, introducing new players like Donnie Yen's Kane and Bill Skarsgård's Marquis. While these characters are entertaining, they sometimes dilute the narrative, making it harder to stay connected to John's journey. The film feels like it's juggling too many pieces, and as a result, the central emotional core of John seeking revenge and redemption gets lost in the myriad of characters that all want their share of attention. That's not to say John Wick 4 doesn't work. It absolutely does. It's a visually stunning, action-packed thrill ride that showcases the franchise's ability to keep pushing boundaries. Keanu Reeves is as magnetic as ever, and the film leans heavily on the goodwill and emotional investment he built up over the previous installments. He's the one that makes the John Wick franchise the success that it is, period. But herein lies the key difference. John Wick 1 didn't need a franchise to make you care. It stood alone, delivering a complete and satisfying story that resonated on a deeply personal level. John Wick 1 is one of the most complete and well-written stories that has come from Hollywood. As a writer, I'm surprised it's not discussed more or given credit for the masterful way it slowly drips information about its protagonist, John Wick. There are so many powerful movie moments that etch themselves into our memories, like the sledgehammer scene where we begin to learn that this John Wick guy is a kick-ass assassin, to the nightclub scene as he chases Losef Tarasov to get his revenge. The writers never try to tell us who this guy is. They show us in well-portioned slices. When Losef takes John Wick's stolen car to Aurelio's garage, the movie starts to give us hints that John Wick is a somebody. Without ever coming out and telling us he is, they show us. The scene ends with Aurelio asking John what he's going to do. John responds with a simple line, "I need a ride." It's the perfect answer because we're getting the idea that there's a lot more to this John Wick guy, and by not telling us what he's going to do, it ups our anticipation as to what is about to happen. It's just great screenwriting. So which one is the better movie, John Wick 1 or John Wick 4? In the end, it's the emotional resonance that sets John Wick 1 apart. While John Wick 4 impresses with its scale and spectacle, it ultimately feels like an extension of the original, a celebration of everything that made the first John Wick so impactful, but without quite recapturing its magic. The first film didn't just introduce us to a character, it made us feel his pain, understand his motives, and root for his redemption. And for that reason, the first John Wick 1, remains the gold standard of this franchise. A film that proves a great action movie is made even better, with a great story leading it. John Wick 1 is the better of the two, and is one of my top 10 all-time favorite movies. Tell me what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you in our next episode of POPRAGEOUS.